we were just introducing the 411, the who, what, when, where, why, and how of meditation. So we were talking about who benefits from meditation? Everyone. If you meditate, you benefit by way of many health gains. Meditation changes 9 regions of the brain within just 8 weeks. It makes you calmer, more peaceful, more happy, and more healthy.
So I was in the process of saying who benefits, and it's basically anyone and everyone can benefit. And I was joking about how if you have a cat or a dog, they will be right where you are when you meditate, because they pick up on the energy waves that you have when you meditate, your steadiness, your calmness, your peacefulness, and your love. And who doesn't want that? Most cats and most dogs pick up on it before the humans do. Meditation gives us a safe harbor in the midst of storms, mind storms, physical storms, chaos storms. This calm center is there regardless of the chaos that swirls around us. Meditation is a storehouse of energy, inspiration, insight, resilience, strength, and pure joy. Meditation even helps those who do not meditate. There have been studies done where groups of people have gotten together and aimed their meditative energy, their blessings, toward a particular thing. And what they found out was that if 1% of a population meditates, crime rates drop by 23%. When people gather to meditate for peace, there is over a 70% drop in acts of war, violence, even car crashes, they found out. So meditation is powerful for you, yourself, your family, but it also can be spread throughout a small community, a state, a country, or even where there are instances of war. Excuse me. When you meditate, everyone around you benefits from your calmness, your peaceful energy, and from your happiness and your positivity. So, Tess, what is meditation?
Meditation is the natural 4th state of consciousness. We're familiar with the waking state, the sleeping state, and the dreaming state. Well, meditation is the 4th, or turiya state. I didn't know that state existed until I started meditating when I was 17 years old. And I was shocked, appalled, absolutely incredulous. How did I live my entire life without knowing this peaceful inner state of calm that's always been there and will always be there? That's meditation. When you meditate, what you do is still the mind, and you rest in a space of deep peace. And when you're in the state of deep meditation, you go beyond the thinking state and you rest in what's known as pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is also known as the witness, or the capital S self, or the observer, or the knower. This deep, restful state rejuvenates body, mind, and spirit. And it is the source of profound peace, joy, strength, and resilience. So, Noni, what about where? Where should I meditate?
Well, I've been taught, and I've also found it to be true, that if I find one seat that I am particularly comfortable in, and I always use that one place to meditate, that place should be neat, it should be quiet, to be away from distractions, people, loud noises, etc. However, if it's a little chaotic or noisy at home, or you have little kids running around saying, "Mommy, Daddy," then meditating in a car where you can just be by yourself is also a good thing to do. We had a friend who would get in her car and drive to Onondaga Lake and meditate.
Yeah.
So we too have done that.
Yeah. And when I first learned how to meditate, I was a full-time student and I had 2 part-time jobs. I lived in New York City and, worked in Brooklyn and Manhattan and lived in Queens. So I spent an extraordinary amount of time on the subway. So the New York City subway was my meditation room. So it doesn't have to be a quiet place, but it is recommended.
Yes, it was good practice.
Oh yeah.
It didn't matter if somebody bumped into you or asked you a question, or you could just be in that zone.
Yes.
So, Tess. Noni has had several traumatic brain injuries, and without her pieces of paper to jog her memory, she will get lost. So, thank God, Tess just pointed to where I'm supposed to be on my page. As we were talking before class, turning off your cell phone, your TV, any other distractions you might have is a good idea. Some people ask, can I have music on in the background? And if it doesn't remind you of a place or a thing, if it's just like white noise, brown noise, that kind of thing, that would be good. A sitar where the thing is just over and over the same thing, or a tambura, rather a tambura where it's the same notes over and over, that would be good. Something that jogs your mind with a memory that takes you someplace would not be the best idea to have in the background as a sound to blot out other sounds. So if you meditate in the same place every day, your meditative energy builds up in that place. Now, you might not think that this is true, but if you have a cat or a dog, it will invariably find the place where you meditate and it will nap there all the time. You have to remove them before you decide to sit down. After some time, when you sit down in that same place every day, it will become easier and easier for you to slip quietly into the meditative state without having to fight your mind. So Tess, I have another question. When is a good time to meditate?
That's a good question. It's a good thing to meditate daily. If you meditate daily, you will see cumulative benefits and you'll see them rapidly. Pick a time of your choosing, but we advise that you don't meditate right before bed because it might wake you up more and make it harder to sleep. And we recommend that you don't meditate right after a large meal because the body requires energy to digest a meal, and that kind of conflicts with trying to settle and meditate. It's most recommended to meditate before breakfast, before dinner, or both. It's great to meditate twice a day for 20 minutes each time, if you have the time to do that. If not, once a day for 20 minutes is optimal for most busy people.
Could I interject that some people's minds have trouble with the 20 minutes?
Sure, and especially in the beginning.
In the beginning. And so if that's difficult for you, you could start with 5 minutes and then work up to 10 minutes, and then 15, and then get to the 20.
Yeah, thank you. The great Zen master Suzuki told his students that you should meditate for 20 minutes every day. And if you're too busy to meditate for 20 minutes every day, then you must meditate for 40 minutes every day. Because if you're too busy to meditate, you're too busy.
good advice.
So, Noni, why should I meditate?
In the beginning, we were talking about some of them. Both meditation and mindfulness offer health benefits. They offer happiness benefits. They offer cognitive benefits, and there's literally no limit to the benefits of daily meditation. We have found meditation and mindfulness to be the key ingredients for a joyful, happy life. So, if you want to be happier, try meditating. If you want to be healthier, please meditate. If you want inner peace and calmness, meditate. If you want to lower the level of stress in your life, meditation will definitely help you. If you want to laugh more, meditate. And then the best part for me is, if you want to be able to laugh at yourself, meditate. Because things don't bother you as much. They just don't. All of that thing that's attached to your ego slowly falls away, and you become a person who can fit in really anywhere. I would hope that you would say something about the health benefits.
Well, there's so many, I don't know where to begin. We mentioned meditation lowers blood pressure, it lowers heart rate, it makes you calm. It is a great antidote to anxiety. In fact, there was a study in 2022 Journal of the American Medical Association for Psychiatry that says meditation and mindfulness are just as effective as medicine for anxiety. So anxiety, depression, pain, meditators actually feel less pain than non-meditators. They've done studies and found this to be true. We're less pain sensitive. So it's the health, but they don't even know the health benefits of meditation. They're just beginning to scratch the surface.
It's true.
And it's an exciting field of research too.
So Tess, how should I meditate?
Sitting in an upright posture is helpful because meditative energy rises from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And as it does so, it purifies the energy centers along the way. They're known as chakras. So a straight spine, or as straight as possible, facilitates that process. This is yoga, however, and yoga should never be painful or uncomfortable. So if you feel any discomfort trying to sit straight, be comfortable. That's important. Never be uncomfortable or in pain, and you don't have to. To meditate, we use an ancient Sanskrit mantra. We use the mantra Hamsa, and Noni will give specific instructions on how to use it in a few minutes. But what Hamsa does is it focuses the mind. And by focusing the mind and pairing it with the breath, it brings great stillness and peace. And it increases the space between our thoughts so that we can rest in that place of deep peace. The mantra we use, like all ancient mantras, has a vibration that has profound healing and transforming effects. We silently combine the repetition of the mantra with the breath. And again, Noni will give us instructions on how to do that in just a moment. While we're meditating, and especially in the beginning, thoughts will come and go. And they'll come and go ceaselessly in the beginning. And it can get kind of aggravating and frustrating.
Annoying.
Yeah. But don't be alarmed and don't be too aggravated about it, because it is normal and it's natural. Until now, the mind has been in charge of the show. So it thinks it's still in charge, and it takes a little while for it to get used to this new discipline of meditation. It'll get the hang of it in a short time. So when thoughts come, don't latch onto them and don't follow them. Just quietly go back to repeating the mantra. When we meditate, we mindfully take hold of the breath. Focusing on the breath and the mantra instantly calms both the mind and the body. So if thoughts do arise, we return our focus back to the mantra and the breath, and then the thoughts will recede again. And eventually we'll reach a thought-free state of pure consciousness, known as the self, or the witness, or the observer. This state of great peace is actually the goal of meditation. We meditate for 20 minutes at a time, and we don't set an alarm to do it because it's too jarring to, if you're in a deep state of meditation, to have an alarm go off. So we suggest having a clock or a watch nearby and just slightly opening one eye to take a peek at it if you feel the need to during your meditation time. When meditation time is over, take a deep breath or two before opening your eyes so you can bring your awareness back to the room. And make sure you stretch and shake out your feet and your legs before standing. Sometimes when we meditate, we get so relaxed that our limbs fall asleep, and that can be dangerous to stand up on feet or legs that are asleep, when we don't want anybody to fall. And so now, let's meditate.
So, when we prepare to meditate, you first stretch out and shake your arms and legs and body and get a nice, straight, upright posture. As Tess said, if you need to be lying down or reclined in a chair, that's fine. As straight as your spine can be, the better. Mine isn't so straight anymore, and neither is Tess's. But in your mind, you can visualize it, and that will help. Please take a nice deep breath and let it out slowly. Place both of your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. If you happen to be using a special chair, then there might be a footrest. That would be fine. Just put your feet flat on that, hip width apart. And then your spine is straight as possible, and there's no need to force anything. Let the back of your neck elongate. That can be facilitated by gently bringing your chin down just a wee bit, like you're nodding. If that's uncomfortable, please be comfortable. Then, if you look at Tess, she will show you to take your thumbs, both thumbs, and both forefingers gently together, and then place both hands, palms down, on your thighs. If that's not comfortable for you, you can place your hands, one hand on top of the other, and just place them in your lap. Also, with thumb and forefinger together. These positions are called mudras, and they help to hold the meditative energy within you and to help you be focused. You can close your eyes now and allow your eyes to soften, like you were looking at a sleeping kitty or a sleeping baby. Let your eyes be soft and gentle. And now smile. go ahead, a nice, big, beautiful smile. And this will relax your facial muscles completely. Now go ahead and smile another great, big, beautiful smile, and allow the muscles in your neck and your shoulders to relax and settle into the softness. Take a moment and scan your body for any signs of lingering stress or tension. And as you breathe, send warmth and relaxation and love to those places where there's tension or stress. And on your out breath, you can let go of that tension and stress. Now, taking a nice, deep, slow breath and release it fully. Again, a nice, deep in-breath. And then exhale completely. And one more deep inhalation. And breathe out long. And now please return to your normal rate of breathing. Every time we meditate, we use a Sanskrit mantra, which has been used by people who practice yoga for over 7,000 years. The mantra we use is Hamsa, spelled Hamsa. Hamsa is a breath mantra. It's the sound that your breath makes when you inhale and exhale. Hamsa goes on within you every minute of every day and every night of your entire life. All we have to do is to remember Hamsa and link it to our breathing, and we can instantly be calm and serene. So now we'll practice it together. As you inhale, silently repeat hum on your in-breath. That's the sound your breath makes when you breathe in. And sa as you exhale. And that's the sound your breath makes when you exhale. Hum on the in-breath. Sa on the out-breath. Try it again. Hum on your in-breath. Sa on your out-breath. For me, I like to know what it is that I'm saying when I say Hamsa. So for today, we're saying, I am that essence, which is calm, peaceful, and serene. And you can silently repeat that after me. I am that essence, which is calm, peaceful, and serene. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Again, silently repeat after me. I am that essence, which is calm, peaceful, and serene. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. I am that essence, which is calm, peaceful, and serene. Hum on your in-breath, sa on your out-breath. And you can continue in this way to meditate. Hum on your in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Hum on your in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Meditate. Please take in a nice deep breath and let your breath out slowly. And take another deep breath in and let that breath out slowly and completely. It's always good to come back gradually from meditating. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and stretch. And after every meditation, always shake out your legs and your feet, because we don't want anyone falling. During our sessions, or when you meditate on your own, always remember to shake out your legs and feet. Make sure nothing has gone to sleep. Does anyone have a question, a comment, or an insight? Raise a hand. Our host will see you and allow you to speak.
Jim, you're currently muted. If you could just, I just hit the ask to unmute. There you
Gotcha. Okay. I understand meditation. I've been fortunate enough to do some of it.
Good.
But what is mindfulness? Maybe you could explain the difference between meditation and mindfulness and how they interact.
That's a great question.
Yes.
And they are somewhat different, although they are somewhat similar. In meditation, we sit quietly and withdraw the senses, right? And we experience the inner quietude of the self. When we're being mindful, and you can be mindful during meditation, like when you focus on the breath or the mantra, you're actually being mindful. Right? But mindfulness is also a technique that we use in our day-to-day life outside of meditation.
Mhm.
And this is an opportunity for us to experience tremendous joy and wonder. The last class we did was called the Yoga of Wonder. And it was a mindfulness class where we experienced all kinds of natural phenomena in our imaginations and experienced awe and wonder through them. So we take mindfulness breaks throughout the day. What we try to do instead of multitasking is do a task, take a break for mindfulness, and then do another task. But in that little break, we take a few deep breaths and focus on the breath, and that takes the blood pressure and the pulse right back down, and it calms the mind. And when I am working in the kitchen, I like to look out the front window at the flower garden to see what wonders are out there, like the butterfly that came by, or the hummingbird, or whatever it might be. But those little moments refresh and rejuvenate us so that we can go back to the next task at hand, ready for it and full of good focus and able to tackle it with a little shot of joy that really helps. I hope that helps answer the question.
That does, and that will help me focus a little bit more to look for mindfulness items and activities in your life. So
it's great. It's a great adventure to embark on. We have a student who's just turned 93 this week, and whenever she sees us, she reports on the wonder that she found this week or today, and it's
And her face lights
yeah,
up.
her life is so full of joy because she's taking this opportunity to just take a moment. It just takes one moment to experience wonder.
there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So does anyone else have a comment or a question, or maybe you got an insight when you were meditating? And it doesn't have to be from today. It could be from last week or last month. And don't be bashful. We learn from each other's questions and we learn from each other's experiences. So raise your hand if you have.
We learn a lot from questions.
Yes.
Because when we get stumped, we have to research and find out the answers. Last class, someone asked, is meditation and mindfulness helpful for ADHD? And I said, I'm sure it is, but I can't prove it. And so I went for the evidence, and sure enough, there's abundant research on it. And I was able to go back to that person with lots and lots and lots of research. I said, wow, you know, this is mindfulness and meditation actually rewire the brain to help treat ADHD in a way that medicine can't. So we're finding great things about meditation and mindfulness every day.
The interesting thing is, I didn't need a study to know this. As I mentioned, I've had more than many traumatic brain injuries. And the last one was a doozy. And it left me in the state that a lot of little kids, when I used to teach, had on a daily basis, where they kind of flapped around and they couldn't contain their energy, and I would have to hold them and get them grounded, but I wasn't meditating then. So what I learned from my own situation is, if I use the mantra and I did the discipline of sitting and staying focused with that mindfulness, all of that calmed down. And all of the things that the doctor said, well, you're not going to come back if you hit your head again, they've come back. I can talk again. I can read. I can drive a car. I can walk. There's space. Difficulty walking. But other than that, the brain gets rewired during the process of meditating.
Yeah.
And so go
and it
for
doesn't
it.
have any negative side effects either, which
Yes.
is great.
Yeah.
And it's free. Back to the topic of mindfulness.
Yes.
Next time we meet is August 19th, right? We're going to do a class called Impermanence. It's a good news, bad news class, because the bad news is that our bodies are impermanent. The good news is, so are all of our problems. So we get to do a mindfulness meditation that reframes the way we look at life and permanence and impermanence. Then after that, we're going to do 2 meditations, one in September and one in October. The first on dealing with pain and suffering, how to use mindfulness and meditation to relieve pain and suffering. And then October will be using mindfulness and meditation to relieve anxiety. So we're looking forward to a lot of good mindfulness practice in the coming months. And we look forward to having you join us. And we want to thank Engage and Chloe and Liz for hosting us.
Yes. Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us and for taking time to meditate. Namaste.
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 See you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.